Welcome in the ring to each and every one of you. We trust that you folks are good and well. Let us know if you're hearing us loud and clear. Share the live Wilson Kilkenny. I see we got Wilma Grant, we got Orvin Don Cook, Beatrice and Dorrit and Joseph, and I see all the other folks, Marcia Fordyce. Folks, happy to have all of you here with us. Cherryland Haywood and Grace Noel and Beatrice Selby. Lynette Cox, great to have you as well, and Eva, Mandy and Mark, Melissa Jonas and Pam Halls. We got Sandra Ford here with us. Nicola Corbin, good to have you as well. Ivor Miller, good to see Ivor on the live all the way from Atlanta, Georgia. Good to see you, Ivor, and Roxanne Odessa Jacobs on the live tonight. And Asha, good to have you here. And Rita Marks and Lester Williams. Do let us know if you're hearing us loud and clear, folks. What a day it was. What a day. What a day. What a day. Yeah. I did tell you all, for a couple of days now, I've been feeling very energetic, very buoyant, more than usual. And, it's for good reason. It's for good reason. Mandy and Jamal and Darren Adams. Darren said, we there. Darren, why you not here with me? Helping to host this program, Darren. I happen to answer some questions or something. Please and thank you, Darren Adams, the regional chairman, Region 10. Pace and power. Good to have Darren. I am. Darren is one of the people I really appreciate. A hard working guy, a man after my own heart. Y'all I like work. I like to work. I like to be busy doing something for the coalition. Oh, vex. Folks, these are interesting times. And these are very, very interesting times. Don't let nobody steal your joy. Pull it back. Folks, in this politics don't work out. Good folks. If it don't work out, so I made a statement a little earlier on, and I see a lot of folks are reacting to it. I have said all the time where I am politically. I don't know why I'm surprising people. I don't like surprises, and I try not to surprise people. I've been saying this all the time. This is where I am, Mario Bell. I did tell you all this morning. Hold on, folks. Hold on. One of the worst things about, and maybe one of the best things too, about being in this business as a content curator, as being in the media. Sometimes you know what is coming up, but you cannot say anything because you don't want to spoil the surprise, right? You don't want to say anything because you're going to spoil the surprise. So I have had so many things on my chest of recently, and I just watching some movements, left, right, and center. I just watching the movements, and as you all know, like when we were coming back from Mabaruma, and my father and I were coming back from Mabaruma, Travis Chase and I, and I knew Travis was heading off to the U.S. to cover the Adriana Young second autopsy there, but I knew the kind of effect that we wanted it to have. He wanted it to have, and I bought into it hook, line, and sinker, and I had to come on and show a brave face. Y'all always asking me. Y'all always asking me where Travis is, and then I gotta keep a straight face. I gotta keep my poker face. Good folks. Yep, that's how it's been for the last couple of days. I've had to keep a poker face, and I'll tell you this. I gotta maintain a poker face. I gotta maintain a poker face, right? I gotta maintain a poker face. Y'all think because people are running out here every day with the business and crying up and so on, that, all right, y'all gonna learn this thing. Y'all gonna learn this thing. Adele and Carmen and Donna and Roxy. And did I surprise any of you? I see some people say they're surprised, right? Some people want to know if I left my party. And I've said I have no intention of leaving my party. But I did hear that moves are afoot to excommunicate us, cancel the membership, what have you, folks. We got to do what we got to do. Siobhan and Marla and Everett, folks have got to do what they got to do. You know, every action got reaction and such and so forth. Siobhan and Lester and Onika and Rihanna. But I'm feeling very buoyant. And if you all have been ardent viewers of our program, you all know we've said it 1,000 times. Borrow a little of my faith if you lack some. You know, you're seeing different things happening, and some of you are getting antsy. And so, Lord, another one. Oh, Lord, I tell you, whole focus, man. Ever lead you wrong? Plenty times. Ever lead you wrong? Roxy, good to see you on the live, and Faye Ferdinand. I see Glenford Gordon is here. Is Andrew Griffith here with us? Andrew, I ever lead you wrong? Ever lied to you? Have I? Jean Johnson, good to have you on the live tonight. Ring the bell one time for Jean. Pull it back for the others. Glenford and Maxine and Mario and all the other beautiful folks joining us. What a day it has been. You know, when I used to watch wrestling as a child, I loved it. Once I grew up, I grew out of it. Done with that. But I used to like when the opponent is pinned down, and then the referee skates in, hit on the mat 3 times, I think. You know, and he kicks up. The announcer would say, you know, you think you got, look, y'all, do not discount the APNU coalition. Do not discount coalition politics. It is here to stay. It is here to stay. You know, PPP don't say they are coalition, but they are. They collate with the private sector commission. They they got a lot. There's a lot of groupings, you know. There's a lot of groupings. They collate with the Guyana Elections Commission. There's a lot. It's coalition. Is the way to go. Everett and Sparkle and Mario and all of the others, folks. This is not any unusual thing in politics that you guys are witnessing. Every political season, maybe you're all too young. You know, us big people, we got to stick together. Every political season, there are upheavals. There are upheavals every political season. Right? Those who have their tears, Julius Caesar says, or Shakespeare writing a beautiful play. Julius Caesar, those who have their tears must prepare to shed them. Every political cycle. I remember in 2016, you know, Mark is my brother, Mark Benchcup, and gone are those days. But I remember when Mark ran for mayor. You know, I was young in the politics then. And I was seeing a lot of orange flag all over the city. I said, Mark, gone with it, boy. Mark, gone with it. And what was frustrating me? Is that APNU, PNCR, AFC, they didn't look like they're taking this thing too serious. Poster and orange flag. Mark, they hot in them days, boy. Politically hot in them days. Everybody said, Mark, gone with it. Gone with it. You know, a little part of me too was sad when he didn't go with it. You know, we don't talk this enough, but Mark and I competed in constituency 14 in Georgetown, and Mark lost that constituency. I wouldn't say to me, he lost it to the movement that I represented. You know, it's quite a lesson. It's quite a lesson in the political life of not only the city, but of the nation. It is quite a lesson, you know. So it was a bittersweet moment because I understood the struggles of Mark Benchcup. I understood what the PPP did to him, supported the rally for his the consistent rallying for his freedom, right? But politics is politics, you know. Politics is politics. I'm only sad that Mark got out of the game. I am only saddened that my brother Mark got out of the game, you know. So at the point I'm making, every political season, you have a lot of upheaval. I don't know if y'all young enough to remember when the PPP told us that Irfan was the nominee. I never see PPP supporters cross the leadership like they crossed the leadership when Irfan Ali was announced. Some of the things PPP supporters said about Arya Ali, I dare not repeat, or it sung like critics and Priyamanik Chan. I dare not repeat. You all remember that? You all remember when Anil was superseded? Frank was superseded? The previous Congress, Irfan had get 5th place, and yet Irfan emerged as presidential candidate. He get a song cussing from the PPP. Folks, you all remember that? Or I was the only one? Oh, they were brutal to Irfan. They were brutal to Arya Ali. You know, just remembering some of the things they said to Arya Ali, and I'm blushing even now. PPP people. So why are you getting confused? Why are we allowing the PPP to set a narrative? Good folks, don't let us do that. Our best days are ahead of us. And for the time being, I'm going to try to regain my poker face. I'm going to try to regain whole. I don't know what's happening. Who's coming? Who's going? I don't know. For the time being, it is so exciting. These are exciting times. Folks, let me tell you all this. Win or win, these are exciting times. Would y'all would rather be in some boring time, Marilyn? Nothing happening. People aren't going, getting the balloon pop, and wanting to come back. I'd rather be part of these things. Action every day. You're at the edge of your seat. Oh, Father. I lived through the 2020 election and the plethora of court cases every day. You're at the edge of your seat. Is this one going to break for us? Every day your heart taking some. Boop, 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 boop. You're at the edge of your seat. When you see what a David recount, fraudulent installed regime, you're at the edge of your seat. Say, boop, boop, boop. We lived through all of that. We lived through all of that, folks. And here we there. You remember, I want to celebrate. I don't want to get too much into PNC business. Because it's not PNC. Right? But you all remember, Corbyn put his best effort forward. He was not able to get the party to electoral success. You all remember that? Oh, Lord, Corbyn used to get cussed. Robert Corbyn, the Honorable, former leader of the PNCR, Robert Corbyn used to get cussed. Cussed. For so, that party still went on to win an election. That party still went on to win an election. I'm just giving y'all some political history because like we forget. I remember when Faith Harding came back. I think Faith was working at UNDP, some aspect of the UN, some international agency. And Faith said, I can make a run for this thing now. Faith was a beautiful, highly qualified, cerebral, spoke well. Faith was fantastic. When Faith came back, I remember clearly there was an entourage, I believe, who drove her through the city. I think they met her at the airport, bring her through the city, all her back. No, that's what it tastes, man. Bring her through the city. I remember Faith Harding sitting in a convertible, at the back of a convertible, looking on top of the world, boy. Here's a little boy them days just watching our politics and say, wow, look story here. This lady can get them a run for the money. We lived through all of those political periods in our nation's history. Y'all forget Faith Harding. We go through and we come through. And aren't we better for it? These behemoths, The AFC coming to come. Katie Carter, 20 years old, the AFC. These bigger parties, 60 years old. You think you got to go through to come through? You think every day is sunshine? I wonder what the people in the PPP were saying of Chetty Jagan when for 28 years he went in opposition. In 28 years, PPP never changed a leader. I could imagine some of the people inside, we got to get rid of Jagdeo. We got to get rid of Jagan, rather. We got to get rid of Jagan. Is he holding me back from electoral victory? It's the 28 years. Some of us can't even sit down 28 weeks back. 28 weeks. You better pull your socks up. Friends, you better pull your socks up in this business. Every tin cup nut, you want to jump on, huh? Every tin cup nut, you want to jump on. Folks, well, you get your reward already. Good, folks, you get your reward already. 'Tis the season. 'Tis the season. And we told you guys months ago when we started talking about general and regional elections 2025, when we started showing you how things were shaping up. We told you this is going to be surprises right down to the finish line. Right? Right down to the finish line. Right down. You know? But we got to keep going. Right? Today was a good day. We'll get some twists and turns. We may get some bad days in between. But you got to keep focused. You got to hold a focus. Friends, please and thank you. Don't lose your focus. Don't lose your focus. So as I said, it was a fairly decent day. You know, the day don't always end how it starts. The day started one way, pace and power, and then, friends, the man spoke, and when he speaketh, he spoke. When he speaketh, he spoke. Please and thank you. Some of you are gonna like this show tonight. Right? Even some of you are not gonna like this show tonight. Naomi, you're in the live tonight. You won't like this show tonight, Naomi. You won't like this show tonight. One of the things we learned today, friends, one of the things we learned is that my sister from another mother and my friend, Dorito Finance, MP Dorito Finance, has received the nod to be the prime ministerial candidate for the APNU coalition. And I want to say congrats. I want to say big congrats. I want to say big and hearty congrats to my colleague who has put in the work and is equally deserving as any other person who might have been proffered for the role. But folks, in the end, to quote the Highlander many years ago, there can be only one, you know, and I was happy that is my friend. And I know she's going to do well in representing folks in this political contest. You know, she knows how to take blows, and more than that, she knows how to give blows. And we are ecstatic. We are extremely happy. I ain't gonna let nobody rain on the parade. And like I have always said, and I hope I didn't catch anybody by surprise, that I am going to be backing any coalition that involves the People's National Congress. I said that. Or you think I'm stupid or what? Politics is about numbers. You could get all the fancy talk and walks. You could get the money and the other cargage. But if you don't have the numbers, Stacey and Soul, you're then nowhere. You and then nowhere. And so I want to continue to contribute to coalition politics as I have been doing for the last 10 years since the advent of coalition politics 5 years earlier. But when I really got into the thing and stopped just watching afar 10 years ago, and I want to continue the hard work that is coalition politics, and to say congrats to my colleague Jurita Vanessa Fernandez, folks, who has come from humble beginnings to rise to this level for consideration of such a prestigious post, to continue to work in the interest of all Guyanese. I say it is the Lord's doing, and it is marvelous in our eyes. And I'm certain for many of you, you share the same sentiments as well. I am quite certain. I know we started late and I'm watching the clock. I don't want to keep us a minute longer than we should, because I know there are other programs following. So immediately today, I saw lots of sentiments on social media changing, because I know y'all are people of feelings. Y'all go with your feelings. It's how you feel. It's who your spirit tech. And our feelings have been bruised a little bit of late, ain't so? We've been hurt a little bit of late. And so it is refreshing to get a breath of fresh air. Sometimes you gotta hold your carrots close to your chest, close to your vest. You can't telegraph all your moves when you are facing such a formidable foe as the PPP. Think it not strange when you're facing enemies, foreign and domestic, folks. When you're facing enemies at home and abroad, good friends. But I am optimistic tonight, as I'm sure Alson Cortez and Leslyn and Jacqueline and Annette and Beatrice and Karim and all the other folks are, about the future. But I want to remind y'all, every day might not be like today, but let us remember days like today, when our heads were high and our steps were swift, the sun was on our back, and we were full of pride. Let us remember days like today to buoy us through those moments that might seemingly not be in our favor. And for yet a little season, I must keep a poker face. For yet a little time, please and thank you. Y'all see nomination day? You got lots of surprises at home and abroad, in between nomination day and after nomination day. Good folks. But I want to welcome all of you. Alana Tang, whose name I haven't seen in the live for such a long time. Jolly and George, you folks are saying no song. I'm getting sung here. Let me know if it's Herbert, Jerick, and Faye. Folks, I'm inviting all of you to support this movement, to support this force, whatever you want to call it, to support this new thrust forward. It all goes well for our future. Nobody here in there fighting for position. We just want to work. I know she's going to speak on it in a little later on in subsequent broadcasts and so on. But Rita Vanessa Fernandez, she was tremendously humbled when asked to step into this role, when asked to step into these shoes. And I'm certain that she's still, pinching herself and saying, am I dreaming? But she can catch herself soon enough and continue her strides. I have no doubt. Belinda McKenzie, Claire and Carol, I am calling on all of you and asking for all of your support as well. Please and thank you. So there's where we start, folks. And then the day only got better. Because when I see people who were once staunch critic saying that I bow to your wisdom, Mr. Norton, you got to give credence to that. Oh, I know some of y'all. You're like when it was the onslaught. After onslaught. After onslaught. You all love when it was done. But today, you all know Ruel is no fan of the coalition. Influencer, writer Ruel Johnson. You all know Ruel had his own party. You all know Ruel pulls for the PVP. You know, has a very cushy job in the PVP, big salary and so on. And when he can say what transpired today was one of the deftest political moves, besides having to go and look to see what the word means, I think it was a good day. When people who are your harshest critics, no pun intended, say well done, masterclass, well done, you got to pay it some credence. Don't let us be like the proverbial ostrich and bury our heads in the sand. Please and thank you. And so, part of what he has said is that in his own impression, what transpired today with the elevation of Director of Finance or the prime ministerial, the prime ministerial candidate for the APNU coalition, and then the making known, because some of us already knew what was happening. The making known that we were fully now going to support the APNU coalition, yours truly and my colleague Ricky Ramsarup, my colleague, my brother Dexter Todd, and others. Y'all give me the other name. It's slipping me. It's right there. Former Commissioner of Police. Y'all give me the name quick, folks. They were supportive of this movement and moving forward, folks. Right? Y'all breathed a little sigh of relief. So here is one of the harshest critics of the coalition of this side of the political aisle. I'm not allowed to repeat the expletives, even though I really want to, because it gives the kind of flavor, a different kind of flavor, you know, a different kind of spin to the bowling. He said it was a masterstroke of politics. Now, if a man that don't like you showering praise on you, you don't have to listen. Right? He said it's one of the deftest political moves. Paul Williams, I think, was the other name. Thanks very much, folks. Thank you very much. Our brother Paul Williams, making known. So I could let down my poker face for a little bit. Making known. Just a couple of the new faces. You can't play everything one day. You know? Making known. You all know I'm a fan of Malinga's bowling. You understand? That was some fancy bowling today. Admit it. Some of you here might not be fans yet of Mr. Norton. May not be supporters yet of Warby Campton Norton. But you gotta admit, it was little Malinga today. Yeah, a little fancy. He wasn't expecting it. And so here was Will Johnson, a writer and influencer, social media commentator, saying that this was a masterstroke. He said, and one of the deftest political moves, one of the best, one of the sharpest, one of the moves that you're going to see for this political season. You see? And so it is worthwhile noting, and of course in his posts on social media, he talks about, you know, all that Norton has had to endure in his political party. He said, I don't want to get into the weeds with the internal party politics there, but suffice to note, these consequential announcements that came today. These consequential announcements. It didn't stop there, good folks. It did not stop there. Now here's another brother, right? From another mother, a man after my own heart, tremendously cerebral on things political and especially international relations, international affairs. And he has had some harsh words too in his own way, talking about the reds and the greens and the yellows. Y'all know the whole thing, top to bottom. And I know y'all know the whole story, top to bottom, an influence in his own right. a writer as well in his own right. And as I said, an international relations, international affairs connoisseur, Ronald Austin Jr. I don't know if he was comparing notes with Ruel Johnson, but he was on a similar tenor and in fine form today on social media. He praised what transpired today, these revelations, these elevations, the news. He says it was a political masterclass, is how Ronald Austin Jr. described it. He says he called it a Napoleonic display of strategic timing that flipped the script. And another event that was taking place today, he said it flipped the script. Sometimes you got to flip the script. Sometimes you got to flip the script. He went on to say, under all kinds of onslaughts and conclusions, right? He did not spend his political capital. This is Mr. Norton is referring to. He kept the cards. How did he keep them? Close to his chest. Things happening right, left, and center, and seemingly cast adrift. He held those cards. You know? Tell your neighbor, hold. I say hold. Tell your neighbor, I say hold. You got to hold your cards. A lot of people in your hands, sir. People in your hand. People in your hands. Bap, bap, bap. I say hold. Against all the onslaught. This is influencer and writer and I dare say national relations expert. I'd elevate him one time. Against all these onslaughts, he says, he did not spend that political capital, right? It did not prompt a premature reaction. Some we little premature. Some we plenty premature. He said didn't do any of that. And he goes on to say that the patience paid off. He framed it as this earlier activity today. He said it quickly lost steam that threatened today to be yet another headline unfavorable to the APNU coalition. He said that activity quickly lost steam once Norton struck. Folks, you got to strike the right time. Some people trying to strike right now, you know. Canceling memberships and so on. But the moment is past. You got to strike the right time. Or else it is in vain. It does not have the same impact. You got to strike the right time. And Ronald Austin Jr., this influencer, thought leader, young thought leader, he said Norton struck. That is how he put it. He struck, unveiling major endorsements. He struck with precision, unveiling the endorsements and internal gains that neutralized the shock value of another event that was taking place today and turned a bombshell into a squib. Ronald Austin Jr. says, Ronald Austin Jr., much the same of what Ruel Johnson said, Aubrey Norton should not be ignored. That's what he said. He should not be ignored. Well, you do it to your own detriment. You do it to your own detriment, good folks. You do it to your own detriment. All right? We are on the 9 o'clock hour, and there is where I want to leave our broadcast this evening, folks. Pace and power. Pace and power. 'Tis the season, good folks. 'Tis the season. This is the season we're in. I know we started late. I know we started late. And on that note, it was very sad to see my colleague Amanza Walton Desir resign today from the People's National Congress Reform, the PNC. Godspeed, Amanza, and best wishes. That's our time for tonight, folks. And that's our program. We're going to see you guys right back here on the next one. We started late, and I'm very cognizant tonight there are other programs happening. We'll see you guys back a little later on in the evening on the podcast. A little later on in the evening on our podcast. So we're going to leave it there for now. That's our time, good folks. And that's our program. I want to say congrats to all the people, folks, all the announcements that were made today, all the folks who are part of those announcements. My friend Ricky Ramsarup, and again, Paul Williams, and again, Dr. Dexter Todd. Is it Dr. Paul Williams? I'm not too certain, but Dr. Dexter Todd, and especially my friend and my sister, Charita Vanessa Fernandez, who has been tipped, who is the prime ministerial candidate for the APNU coalition. Thanks for joining us, folks. That's our time, and thank you all. Thank you all for having the patience with us. Right? Our best days are ahead of us. Let me leave you all with that. Our best days are ahead of us. That's our time tonight. That's our time, and that's our program. Stay safe. Stay safe. Pace and power. Thanks for joining us. See, I'm ready to go. But before I go, let me give some of you a shout out, like Lester and Pansy, and say thank you guys for keeping the faith with us. Maxine and Diane and Thomasine and Raquel and I see all the Aubreys on the live tonight. Deborah and Kim and Wernella and Joseph, Mandy, we see you as well. Thanks for joining us, folks. Denise, Everil, Lovely Lily, Stacey and Stoll, Beatrice Selby, I see Denise, London Welshman is here, and Colleen Roberts, Kwanamingo, Naomi Draco. Good to have Naomi back on the live. Ring the bell one time, just for you, Naomi, just for you.